Welcome to another edition of Wings Weekly. Jay Kleinknecht here, along with head coach Scott Langer. Well, Coach, first I wanted to touch on the Super Bowl. You're a defensive-minded guy, a pretty low-scoring event. What did you think?
I thought it was great. I mean, just to watch what the Pats did against LA was something else. You know, you're talking about a team that puts up quite a few points, and you know, for him to have that game plan and those guys to execute it was certainly fun to watch.
Yeah, I've heard kind of different perspectives. A lot of people said it was boring, and there's others that were like, man, it was a back-and-forth battle that was really entertaining. So, Coach, a 4-1 win here on Friday night, and then a 1-4 loss in Bismarck. Close games, you know, as you said, they're healthy. They played pretty well, and you're getting everybody's best game, as we've talked about. What are your thoughts on your team's performance over the weekend?
Well, I thought Friday we were really good. You know, I thought, you know, again, we found a way to score some goals, and we played in a very tight game there. And our guys were good, you know. In the 2-1 game, we utilized the power play goal late in the second to give ourselves an opportunity to win, and then we pretty much closed the doors. So Saturday, you know, we weren't bad. They were pretty opportunistic on the first 2 goals they scored, that's for sure. Definitely goals I would take, you know. But you know, we just couldn't score. I mean, we had some real point-blank shots that we had wide open nets that we ended up putting over the net where, you know, when you're on the road and you're getting team's best games, you really have to figure out and discipline yourself and put those in the back of the net. And, you know, I thought that in the first period, if we would have done that, that complexion of that game is much different. But, you know, you got to give it to those guys. They played with a ton of passion. I mean, they wanted to end our streak like no other. You could just see it in the way they were playing. And their goaltender, and you know, you see it at the end, their goaltender running around the ice acting like he was flying, and it was like they won the Stanley Cup. So good for them, and you know, it's good for us to have strong 19 together.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and like I mentioned, you know, that was an emotional win for them, and there was a lot of energy in that building. You guys are 29-2-1 when scoring first. You score first up there. Things seem to be going well, but then, like you said, you know, their goaltender gets hot. There's a couple of opportunities that maybe we couldn't capitalize on. But overall, that is the first loss since November 24th. Almost a third of the season spent on a win streak, and that's an amazing accomplishment. But, you know, like it's been said, all good things have to come to an end. And what was your message to the team? Have you had a chance to talk to them at all?
Yeah, you know, I don't address them right after the game on a loss. It's just not the time or place for me to go in there. And I actually sent the whole team a text after we got back on the bus, and everybody just kind of was, you know, trying to digest the situation. But it's simple. I mean, I'm proud as can be to have coached that group and to still be coaching this group through, you know, 19 different ways to win a hockey game and an extremely tough division with a lot of good teams and a lot of good coaching. You know, it's special for me. You know, I've been at 11 a few times, but to get to 19 is pretty special, and to have done it with this group of guys is even better. You know what? We're not losing sleep over that loss.
Yeah.
You know, everybody else can dwell on it. Go ahead. But I'm not, and our staff's not, and our franchise isn't. We're gonna work on building another one, and you know, this is the stretch run right now, and it's you know, we're looking to finish very strong heading into the playoffs.
Well, that actually answers my next question, which was going to be if there were any concerns about the mental or emotional state, being able to bounce back from a loss when there hasn't been a loss in so long. But
yeah, I think that's a defeatist attitude. You know, you got to look at this group. They've been down games, found a way to win. They win in shootouts. They've blown teams out. You know, why should anybody sit around and think about you know, we're going to have to pick them up off the ground and put them back on their feet. You know, this is a winning team. This is a winning group, and we have much bigger things that we have our eyes on. And you can bet come this weekend, you know, Brookings is going to get our best game.
Excellent. Well, you know, some have actually said that it's good to lose sometimes, and that it kind of keeps you hungry. Is there a way that you can get better after a loss?
I don't know. Sometimes I think that those comments come from people that are used to losing. And I'm not being mean to say that. I mean, winning is what we do. Like, that's why we're hired as a staff. That's why we bring in these players. We do it to develop. We do it to win.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any opportune time to win. I mean, that's just justifying, stupidity, so to speak. What's going to make us better is that we go right back to work tomorrow morning and we train the way we've been training and maybe add a little bit to it and focus on the task at hand, which is Brookings coming up this weekend with 4 huge points. That's the only thing that's going to make us better.
Okay. Well, players are off today, so we'll get to Brookings and what's coming up after we take this quick break and hear from one of our sponsors. We'll be back after this.
Let's make a taco. No, seriously. Start with a tortilla, soft tortilla. Warm it, kiss it. Don't kiss it. Chicken? How about tequila lime chicken? Now we're cooking. Slice this, peel that, snip those. Salsa? Verde. Cheese? Cotija. Oh, forgot to mention. Guac. That's better. See, anyone can make a taco, but we're not anyone. We're Qdoba, and these are knockout tacos. Qdoba Mexican Eats. Choose flavor.
Wings Weekly continues. Jake Kleinknecht along with head coach Scott Langer, of course. Well, Coach, the standings, Wings still, of course, on top, 66 points. Austin is in second with 51 points, Minot with 49. Then the Wilderness with 46, Bismarck with 43, and Brookings with 19. Johnstown was the first team in the league to clinch a playoff spot. At what point do you start counting, or is it still one game at a time until further down the road?
Well, I don't look at standings. I haven't looked at standings all year. I couldn't even tell you. I mean, obviously, you guys tell me we're sitting in first place, and I couldn't tell you how many points we have. It doesn't matter. Okay. I'm a week-to-week guy, game-by-game guy, and I know that if we continue to win, and we're successful, that those things will take care of themselves. So, I have a wife that can tell you every single stat and every single scenario, and also our owner Greg is big in numbers, and those guys are probably better to ask on when we can lock up a spot.
Okay. Well, home and home with Brookings, as we talked about in that first segment, a team that's had its struggles but always seems to find a way to play the Wings strong. What do you expect from Brookings?
Playing well. I mean, you look at the amount of shots their goaltender is facing and stopping. It's going to take a solid Wings way effort in order to beat them. They're not a team that's you just assume that there's 2 points. They've been able to put game plans together. They're in every game, and their goaltending. They have the McBay kid that is part of the top prospect roster for a reason. He's been key for them, and I think I saw this weekend Minot put 50-something shots on him, and he stopped 40 plus. So. It's going to take a big effort, and those guys, they're knocking some teams off here and there, and we certainly don't want to be one of those teams.
Right. Okay. Well, a few announcements that came out last week, and we're going to get to top prospects here in just a moment since you mentioned that, but congratulations on the announcement that you've been named the general manager for the Wings. What does that mean for you on a day-to-day basis? Does it change some duties?
Well, I think it's going to change some duties. I mean, I think the ownership is expecting me to bring some of my experience that I've had being a general manager to the table, but a lot of the stuff that the Odie family's had me do really falls under the general manager hat. So it doesn't matter. I'm always going to be here to support the franchise in any way they deem that they need help.
Okay. On to top prospects. Of course, you've been named the head coach for the Central Division. We talked about this last year about this time as it's coming up in a couple of weeks, but maybe there's some fans that are just starting to follow or whatever that don't really know a lot about the tournament itself. Can you tell us a little about the top prospect tournament and what it means to these players and you guys as coaches?
Well, the 4 divisional teams are extremely important because those are players made up of players that don't have college commitments so far. So it's a huge opportunity for those kids that make that top prospect team that really are looking to advance their career at the college level. So I think that's the huge importance of this thing is they have the selects teams. Those guys are mostly made up of kids that are younger, but a lot of them have college deals already. But I'm on the side of with the Central Division that we're working with guys that don't have deals. So this tournament brings out a lot of scouts. Yeah. And it puts every one of those kids in the same forum and allows them to compare apples to apples. And, You know, last year we had a lot of success there with our top prospects. You know, I'm pretty sure all those guys ended up getting something college-wise, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So it's an outstanding event. You know, the league puts on a great event, and there's a lot of eyes on these players. And you know, for me, I get to be a part of it as far as hopefully preparing some of those guys and how to play the right way and to get the most attention.
Well, and this is the second year that you've, well, for the Central Division anyway, that you've been the head coach. What's that like to a group, a locker room full of guys that you haven't coached before? You know, it's not the same guys that you're with all year long. I would imagine that makes preparation a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, you know, we have fun with it. That's when I go in there, I like to have fun with the guys. It's all different personalities, and I get to meet guys that, you know, that normally you're coaching against, and you want to beat them, and now you're putting them together and wanting to be successful with them. So it's a lot of fun that way, and you know, you get to coach with guys you don't get to coach with, and I'll be able to coach again with Coach Howard from Austin. But you know, it's not like we're going to put in structure. Right. And expect those guys to play structure. It's more about not playing selfishly, using one another, you know, making sure you're hard on pucks, just simple things, simple principles that will make them successful.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, the Wings that are going, congratulations to Riley Murphy, Max Salpeter, Sean Kennedy, and John Sladek, who will represent the Central Division. And then the select team, the Red Select team, Pearson Brandon will be playing. So again, congratulations to those players and to you as the head coach. As we talked about Brookings coming up, and what you kind of expect from them, their best game and so on, do you change anything as far as the practice week?
You know, every week changes a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's based on your last weekend and also what you need to do to be successful against the upcoming opponent. So it'll change a little bit from last week. But I expect the intensity level to be at an all-time high. You know, because there is a lot of eyes on us now. You know, what's going to happen to Aberdeen since they've lost one game, and but our guys is a good group. They like to prepare, they work hard, and I'm looking forward to this week of prep.
Okay. Well, again, 19 straight. The last loss was the 24th of November. That's just astounding. Again, great run there. Well, folks, February 8th. Wings take on the Brookings Blizzard. The corporate sponsor is Stutzman Harley-Davidson. Skate with the Wings after the game. It's DQ Beat the Blizzard night. If the Wings beat the Blizzard, you get a Beat the Blizzard card to get a free mini Blizzard at the Aberdeen Dairy Queen. Doors open for all Wings home games at 5:30, and the puck always drops at 7:15. $10 general admission tickets are on sale now at any of the 4 Sea Express locations in Aberdeen with additional purchase. February 9th at Brookings. 7:05 puck drop. You can watch the game at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Aberdeen or on hockeytv.com. Listen on 94.1 The Rock, hubcityradio.com, or the Rock app. And the Wings fan bus to Brookings on the 9th is sold out. It is going to be great to have that group of fans there in Brookings cheering on the Wings. But there are still spots available for the trip on the 16th of February. $28 per ticket includes transportation to and from the game and your game ticket. So call Aaron for details or to reserve a spot on the bus. The number is 605-380-5852. For all the latest news and information, visit AberdeenWings.com or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, or on Instagram. Coach, thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate you taking some time, and best of luck coming up against Brookings.
Thanks, Jay.
All right, folks, that'll wrap up this week's Wings Weekly.